All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 5 of my Divine Journey 2 Let's Play. I've been a busy bee this episode. I built this whole new building to house some of our immersive engineering machines. And it culminated in getting to build this excavator. Now this is really changing the game for me, because now I have iron ore just coming in constantly, which is so very nice. I don't have to go mining for iron anymore, which was the thing I went mining for the most. And it's just coming through this excavator. And I'm going to be leaving this running the entire time I'm playing. Fortunately, if you're playing another mod pack like this, a lot of them have this claim chunks feature, in which you can chunk load areas so that it's always loaded even if you're not there. I recommend this to load like all the chunks around your base, so that you're constantly producing stuff. It's constantly running. So over here, as you saw in that short montage, we built a crusher that outputs to a storage crate, and then our arc furnace too, which so far the outputs just sit in here, but I'll probably change that. I need a place to put slag too. I just remembered. Let's throw this guy down. So that will be where our slag goes. But I also made a bunch of coke ovens up here so we could start automating the process of getting steel. These are all going to feed down using item ducts, which are the best item transporter we have currently. They're pretty good. They get the job done. We'll definitely be upgrading them once we get further into mechanism. But, so all those coke ovens are going to be connected to this crusher here, and produce crushed coke that we can then combine with iron to get steel, to have automatic steel. The arc furnace is going to be really useful. Eventually, I'm probably going to build another one of those so that we can have one constantly producing steel and one constantly using for whatever we need to smelt, ores and whatnot. Over here, it's pretty barren now. I'm going to make a path going over here pretty soon. That's going to be more built up than just like this or just shoveled path. And this is probably where we're going to expand to next. This area was really convenient because it's right next to where our biodiesel generators are. We're going to upgrade this too, because this is currently my entire energy storage, which is not great. We want more than just that. But for now, that's doing well, and it is fully powering our excavator, which is really great. I cannot emphasize enough how great it is to have this. And once we so the way the excavator works is it's a per chunk basis. What you saw me do is use a core sample. I didn't realize I built this on a chunk border. That's probably not great. Let me make sure both of these chunks are loaded. Okay, they're both loaded. Hopefully this won't break. This might break. But it mines through the chunk. I believe it's mining this chunk right now because this is the expected output of this chunk. And it'll mine all the resources in it, which in this one, it's a pyrite vein. So that means we get sulfur and iron ore. Sulfur, we haven't used any sulfur yet, but it's used in a whole lot of stuff. I assume, at least. Can make gunpowder with it. This is probably going to be the first one we do, sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide and stuff like that. That will be when we get further into mechanism. Not for right now, though. For right now, what I'm going to do is, it's a great question. Thank you for asking it, because I don't know myself. I think I'm going to start trying to get into mechanism and get into Applied Energistics 2. AE2 is one of my favorite mods. I think it's a very common favorite mod for people to have because of the storage potential and how useful it is for storing your items. So in order to do that, it's currently gated by mechanism. We have to progress pretty far through mechanism, getting things like, where is it? The metallurgic infuser and then stuff like that. And then progressing over to connecting up your drawers and then so on and so forth. But that will eventually allow us to have a storage system that's fully digitized instead of me running around to every single little setup of chests I have and trying to find where I put my iron or my aluminum or my steel, which is my current method, and it's gotten old. It's gotten old. I also, these pumpkin spiders, you've probably seen them. They spawn everywhere. I have this all lit up. Like, there's no spots for mobs to spawn. Clearly not as well as I thought. How long am I feared for? Give me a second. I'll be right back. Now that that's over, I don't know why those pumpkin spiders spawn all over the place. I bet you there's already another one if we go around and look. This is, watch, now that I've said it, this is going to be the first time I've ever gone around this base and there hasn't been one. Oh my god, that's true. There isn't a pumpkin spider. There's so many. I can't complain too much because I do get so many of these Terran shards, which are pretty useful. It's what my sword is made of. I've made a couple versions of this sword because I want to get looting 3 on one of them. I need looting 3 so badly so that I can get just more stuff from every mob I kill. I haven't gotten looting 3 a single time, and I have disenchanted and re-enchanted so many of these malls. I'm gonna keep trying when I have the mental capacity to do it, because it involves doing a roots ritual and then enchanting, and it's a whole long process. But another thing that those Terran crystals can be used for is armor. Currently we have real might armor, and while it's pretty good, there is Terran armor, which gives you increased mining speed. I think I saw it's 50% increased mining speed, which is phenomenal. That would allow me to insta-mine pretty much anything. So I am going to try and get that. I might also try to see what other armors Divine RPG adds, and if there's any that seem better. This set is pretty good. I can't complain too much, but it's fun to upgrade. Yeah, and another thing I have to do. The first step in this mod pack is exploration, and so far I have done no exploration. I have not been exploring. I have been building. I have been constructing. I have been immersing myself in engineering. But I really should start exploring, because if we look at the mods that the order these chapters go through, the journey begins, dancing on a totem, rule the problem, exploration 1. I haven't finished exploration 1. Exploration 2, haven't even gotten there. Exploration 3, haven't gotten there. And this involves at some point the Aether, which apparently you can get really, really good loot from. It also involves the Twilight Forest, which I've done before and I did not really enjoy doing before. But I have heard you can just craft everything, which I might do. I haven't decided yet. I might try it out. I might try out going to the Twilight Forest, and if it makes me want to pull my hair out, then I will craft everything, because I've done the Twilight Forest many times, and I don't really want to do it again. And it might be an excuse to start beefing up our production system, because I don't really know how you can craft the items that you would normally get from the Twilight Forest. It's getting late, so I should probably end this clip. Getting late in Minecraft, not in real life. It's 4 p.m. where I am. But I'm going to next start trying to set up some more mechanism machines. I have one over here, this guy, but I could really use some more. I could also use more redstone. So even though I went on a tirade about mining, I might have to go mining for redstone again, redstone and coal, which wouldn't be the end of the world. And yeah, I am also going to look into the exploration chapter and try to do some more of these nether items. I know I need to beat the wither. I might try to do that soon. Oh, you get a fortune 3 and mending book. That's pretty good. So we might try to do that. Yeah. We're gonna see if I want to do the Twilight Forest. See you in a few seconds. All right, everyone. So I have made the executive decision. We are going to be skipping the Twilight Forest. I've just played it so many times, and I don't really feel like playing it again. I want to get into the more unique stuff to Divine Journey too. So in order to skip the Twilight Forest, we are going to be crafting up the Lamp of Cinders, which is the final item from the Twilight Forest mod, using this stuff, and now we have it. So we've done it. Woo! Yeah, let's go. We'll take some nether quartz and the 16 experience. I look a little different. I've crafted up the shadow armor from the Divine RPG mod. This offers 3 times movement speed, which is very nice, as well as step assist, which doesn't seem to be working right now, but when it does, it allows you to just go up, single blocks. Another thing I got is looting 3 on my sword, or on my maul, I guess, which is extremely useful because now everything just gives us more stuff. I've been wanting looting 3 for a while. I also spent some time and used the core sample drill and just kind of went around and labeled what ores are present in every chunk. So like garnet, corollium, coal, quartzite, and then most usefully Certus quartz, which is used for everything in Applied Energistics 2. So now that I have finished the Twilight Forest, we are going to be crafting up the Flawless Scarab wings and the Flawless Scarab body, which is pretty cool. It's the next big milestone in our Scarab. I don't really know what we're using the Scarab for, but we're told to craft it. I think it's how we get into Adam 2, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. We need some blaze powder. Can get that from our blaze rods, which we're gonna need more of soon. We need some diamonds. Got some diamonds. And then we need pure aquatic pellets, which I also have some of. So let's craft this guy up. There. Pure aquatic pellets. I think this goes there. What else do we got? Oh, well, I could just do that. Flawless Scarab body. Very cool. Very cool. We got that. Let's now try to craft the Scarab wings. Oh, I don't know if we're going to have bat wings. I don't think we do. Well, oh, this allows you to fly in a creative way. Oh, but you need empowered. You need a lot. Okay, well, we're not going to be getting that yet. I think I'll have to go get bat wings. Fortunately, we have a really big cave system right below our base. Cave system that was mostly mined out by me, but bats do spawn down there. So I'm going to go and get some bat wings, and I will catch up with you in a second to craft the Flawless Scarab wings. All right, that took a bit more resource gathering than I expected, but I did get the bat wings. Fortunately, the cave and our looting 3 on our sword were very useful for getting the bat wings. Turned out there are plenty of bats down there. So now let's craft up the flawless scarab wings. Do I have... Oh, well, I don't know where my artificial scarab wings have gone. Let's go look around. Maybe I put them in here. I probably put them in here actually in our roots section. There we go. All right. Now heading back. Flawless scarab wings. What else do I need? I need some more blaze powder. Of course. Of course, of course. Of course, a horse. Flawless scarab wings. Woo! And that means we have completed the mystery of the Scarab 3. I'm going to take the leather because we don't have a ton of leather, actually. Use some of that solidified experience, too. And now I believe that opens up, yeah, the Exploration 2. Which means we can go to Adam and the Erebus. Pretty cool. I don't really know how to get into Adam. I've never... So the rest of these exploration mods, Adam, Erebus, and the Aether, I've never actually played. Well, maybe I played the Aether back when Minecraft was in beta. However, I do not remember. I was like 11 years old. I don't know what I was doing. So the rest of them, I am going to play. I'm not going to skip them like I skipped the Twilight Forest because I haven't played the new ones. Or the ones that are new to me at least, and I'll bring you along for the ride for each of them. Let me show you some other stuff I've done in the meantime. I moved our metallurgic infuser up to here temporarily just because I wanted another HV capacitor and to start charging those guys up. Our diesel is still going very strong. Fortunately, I can also attach a tank to this fluid pipe where our diesel's being outputted in order to get some to craft up the stuff like the energized osmium, the energized Certus quartz. In here, well, so our excavator has been constantly running. I installed some emerald upgrades on these guys because they were getting a bit full, but it's still going. Now, okay, I was about to say, I don't know if we've run out, because eventually the ores do run out here, but it looks like our ores have not run out yet, which is pretty cool, because... Let's see if there's any more near. Well, we got this pulverized nickel, which is a byproduct from crushing the iron ore. And all of our iron ore doubled into pulverized iron, which I then threw into the arc furnace using a bit of, I say automation, just an input, so I don't have to constantly manually input everything. And as you can see, each one of these is an iron ingot being output, and in this chest, oh man, look how much iron we got. Look how much. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Makes me want to cry. I might cry. It's so nice. It's so nice. We don't need to go mining anymore. And looking around the area here, where I put some signs, we got stuff like coal. That's probably the one I'm gonna go for next, coal. Using the excavator, because the excavator needs to be placed on the chunk wherever the chunk is that for the ore you want to get. But we have stuff like inferium, garnet, Certus quartz, quartzite, galena, which is lead, and something else. Lapis, stuff like pretty much every resource. And I'm sure if we went through and combed each chunk, we would find really everything we need. I don't know if there's any faster way to do it other than placing a core sample down and checking each chunk manually. Oh, we got some ender pearls. Very cool. But for now, we have some pretty good ones around here. And it doesn't seem like it terribly destroys the chunk. Pumpkin spiders. Oh my god, they spawned in the 2 seconds I was away. I caught that on camera. I caught that. I don't know why they're still there. This is all lit up. See, I just turned on my light overlay. No spaces. Oh, there's some spaces over there. But they weren't over there. They were over here. So I don't really know why they're spawning. I think that it's because They don't like me. Let me show you how many pumpkins I have from killing these guys. Each one drops 1 pumpkin because it's a pumpkin spider and the pumpkin lives on its back. I have over a stack of pumpkins. I have over 100 just from killing those pumpkin spiders. They get me heated. They get me heated. However, they do drop Terran shards, which can turn into Terran stones, which are used to make my sword and stuff, which is pretty nice. Now, for the last bit of this episode, I'm going to craft together the flawless scarab wings and the flawless scarab body to create the scarab. Adam. A tomb. I don't know how to pronounce it. Royal torches. Raise up the edges. We'll do that later. For now, what do I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something. I really don't know how strong your equipment is supposed to be in this mod pack. I feel like mine's pretty strong. I don't like really how quickly the shadow armor loses durability. Even though I have Unbreaking 3 on like everything besides my boots, it still seems to be going down pretty fast. So I've been trying to pick up shadow gems in order to be able to fix it, but I still don't super like how quickly it goes down. So I don't really know whether or not I'm ready to go fight in a tomb. I might try to get better armor, but I think for now what I'm gonna try to do is I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna try to do. That'll be a decision for next episode, because I think we've done a lot this episode so far. Building a new building, getting a better setup for the arc furnace, getting a better setup for our coke ovens. That's the word I'm looking for. Once the next excavator vein I'm going to use is the coal vein, because then we can start throwing coke into the crusher and then creating steel with all that iron we just got, which will be really important for like mechanism and everything, because we're just going to need an absolute ton of steel. Maybe I'm coming up with a plan just as I'm rambling here. And I think what I might try to do is, we have a good power source now, and one of the next mods we can get into through mechanism is Applied Energistics 2, which is all over here, which will allow me, most importantly, to stop having to search through chests and everything for all the items I'm looking for. And it will rather allow me to have a digitized storage system where I can just access everything in one screen, which is one of the best things in modded Minecraft, in my professional opinion. So I think what I'm going to start doing is planning out how we're going to set up our AE2 system, start planning out where it's going to be put, how we're going to be connecting things, because we'll also be able to start automating the production of different materials with AE2. And that is incredibly useful, rather than having to, because right now manually I'm just putting iron into everything, iron ore into the crusher, and then the pulverized iron into the arc furnace. So next episode, we're going to start that. We're going to start our AE2 system and getting a better organization. And once we get the better organization, I am going to take stock and see how our gear is and how it compares to what other people have been doing, and then make the executive decision whether or not I want to spend some time gearing up, or whether I want to dive into at a tomb and the Erebus and the Aether. Until then, I want to thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I am being a shill. Thank you very much. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.